What's up all you lads and ladies? Welcome to another fascinating video in the world of Reddit. If you liked the video, post your favorite Reddit comment below, and I'll give you a shout out in my next video. Thanks to Rocco Cool in my last video who commented that he was my #1 fan. Hope you all have stayed safe during the beautiful start that we have had to this year, which is almost halfway done. Can you believe it? Well, in this video, we'll take a look at ideas for how 2020 can get any better, with just a dash of sarcasm. How could 2020 possibly get worse? Today is the beginning of hurricane season. Some sort of large-scale electrical failure would be the icing on the cake. Oh please not that. Quarantine plus no internet would suck so much. That would be great. Sure, I wouldn't be able to work, but I'd stop getting bombarded with bad news and I'd finally have no excuse to not read and exercise more. I live in LA and today I was thinking the universe could truly freak us by finally having the big one strike this summer. But I guess that's just regional and not more awful it for the entire world. Diarrhea. Widespread, infectious and without warning. All the toilet paper hoarders. Look who's laughing now. A double pandemic. Ebola's back. It's hurricane season. And wildfire season. And tornado season. And duck season. Rabbit season. Duck season. As far as I know, the Earth is still rotating on its axis, so that could, stop. A world war? World War V. A war so intense it skips over 3 and 4. A massive meteorite hitting the Earth at a time of heightened tensions between India and China, and is mistaken for a nuclear attack, causing a full-on exchange of nukes between the two. Then the US, Pakistan and possibly Russia would get involved, and if Pakistan gets involved, India would launch an attack towards Pakistan. And forgot about the US-Russia conflict. Yeah, it's not gonna go well. That'd be an improvement at this point. The China-India border situation going from a standoff to a full-on shooting war. And then Pakistan gets involved to aid China. Man, it's gonna be a 3-way nuke war. Oh jolly. Wait, why is it so cold out there? And thanks to radioactive fallout, we all lose. Who want to play Fallout? Flash bam alakazam. Well, in the case of my country Chile, we had massive protests since October. Government handled it pretty bad and our economy crippled. Now with the pandemic, again the government mishandled it and we are having a pretty nasty second wave of infections. Only thing that would make things worse would be one of our recurrent earthquakes. Chile is known for having devastating earthquakes every 10 to 15 years. Last big one near the capital was around 10 years ago. If government mishandles it again, our economy may hurt in an irreparable way. Hey, another Chilean here. And yeah, that's the worst I can imagine here. YouTube Rewind. Can't wait to see 2020 at Rewind, to be honest. Intro starts with Will Smith coughing. Gah. While standing in Australia. That's hot. A proxy war between any two nations' nuclear powers that turns nuclear. More specifically, since everybody's asking, China versus India, like what's going on right now, or the US versus Iran or Saudi Arabia versus Iran. And finally, American Civil War 2. I nominate Vatican City and Monaco for the war. Liechtenstein versus Andorra. My god, the death toll could be in the dozens. That's their whole population, sir. Anybody remembers post from 3rd of January? It was something like, first day of new year WW3 starts, 2nd Australia is on fire, 3rd day Pope hits woman, what will happen 4th day? And people were joking what terrible it will happen, and now it's like worst year since 1939. Oh frick. A guy out there said COVID, back when it had just started. I remember reading a news article back in December about a new virus spreading in China and thinking that it was going to be local. Not sure if it was about COVID though. COVID has been around since November 2019 in China. My sister-in-law was warning everyone at Thanksgiving and Christmas last year to stock up on meat in the deep freezer. She isn't the insane type and works for VIPKID, which teaches Chinese students English. The children warned her about what was going down and she prepared, as did we. Portals to Oblivion. Yai 2 Bethesda series in 2020. Calling it now, the second half of 2020 is gonna be the best comeback in history, starting with a Rocky IV montage. Yellowstone. At least for the USA. For my country, Jacob Zuma somehow makes it back. Yellowstone caldera blowing would mess up more than the US. Large portion of the world would be fricked. Yeah, mass refugees from the US. Not to mention fricked world economy and rapid climate change. Whole world would suffer. Likely worldwide famine. Krakatoa in Indonesia blowing during the 19th caused some crops to fail in the US. Yellowstone blowing would essentially start a very short ice age. Global warming plus ice age equals pleasant temperature, right? We find evidence of alien life, but it's like the assimilating one from the thing. We find alien life, more like alien life finds us. Or it's a bunch of greedy space corporations trying to use us like the Belgians use the Congolese. A Vogon constructor fleet appears in the sky hanging in the air just like bricks don't, to construct a hyperspace bypass. That, hanging in the air just like bricks don't, line is the best line ever written in the English language. The ships hung in the sky in much the same way that bricks don't. If we're going to admire it, let's get the quote right. COVID-20. If pandemics are a once in 100 year thing, there's 100 chance another one starts this year. I don't like those odds. Still got second and third waves to come yet. We've had one. Yes. But what about second pandemic? If we were stuck in a 2020 time loop. 2020 after seeing this post. Write that down. Write that down. No kidding, why are we giving 2020 ideas? Not sure, but the first 5 months feels like 5 years. Was talking to my wife about Hong Kong protests and Australia wildfires, and it seems like it was a couple of years ago. I'm watching the US to see how the elections are going. That could really give 2020 the cherry on top. We're on like the 6th era of 2020 by now. Remember Trump's impeachment trial? Way back in the first era of 2020? Holy it, was that this year? The trial began on the 16th of January, 2020. Also in 2020, Kobe Bryant's death, and I think the Teapot Dome scandal. A catastrophic earthquake on the west coast of the US, followed by a Category 5 hurricane that goes up the entire east coast, followed by super shark tornado down the middle. The government taking away more internet privacy. They actually renewed the Patriot Act, meaning they can look through your browser and search history without a warrant. So yes, it got worse. You just had to ask, didn't you? You will go down in history as the person who jinxed humanity to annihilation. There will be no recorded history to go down in after an annihilation. We'll be scratching Arp's name into the walls of our underground cave dwellings as we slowly drift into extinction. 20 million years later, the beaver folk, the new dominant intelligent beings on the planet, will bat their tails on the floor in excitement at evidence that once other beings walked the earth, and will conclude they died out through lack of dams. 3 ancient men found frozen in a pillar in a cavern, with strange masks made of stone scattered around the place. A man-shaped statue falls to earth, who then immediately joins forces with a blonde vampire with a body like 3 linebackers put together, and has an equally buff psychic partner who freezes time. Several X-class solar flares that completely destroy global telecommunications, household electronics, and power grids all over the world, thereby knocking humanity back to the Stone Age. Insert whatever time period you think would best suit the scenario, i.e. 1950s, 1900s, 1800s etc. Wait, maybe that wouldn't be such a bad thing to have happen. It would be closer to Mad Max, wouldn't it? Gas power would still work. True, mechanical systems would still function. Problem is, so much of our infrastructure is computerized and electrical that losing all of it at once would be quite catastrophic. Make sure to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell like it owes you money. Remember to post your favorite Reddit comment from the video for a chance to be featured in my next video. I hope you enjoyed this fantastic video about life advice. Show a small channel some love by liking and subscribing. Take care. Pip pip cheerio. Much love from me, Matt British.